So what actually is hypnosis? Is it a state of relaxation? Is it some kind of mind-bending sense of altered reality? Is it a way of tapping into your unconscious mind? Is it a way of increasing creativity? Well, I would say that hypnosis is all of those things and so much more. Throughout the years there have been many different definitions and descriptions of hypnosis, and I think they're all useful to a certain extent, but they're also incomplete, because our understanding of hypnosis is developing and expanding as we move forward into the future. So I want to give you a base level definition for the subject, and again I want to point out that this is an incomplete description, because like I say, our understanding of the subject is improving all the time, and everyone will have their own take on it. So my definition is hypnosis occurs when we reduce our attention from the many things down to a single element of experience, and then from that we create some kind of altered sense of reality that can then be used in the context of change. Whew. Now that is a bit of a mouthful, and I have to admit it is a good description, it's a good definition in my opinion, but it is incomplete. So I want to flesh this out by giving you just a couple of ways to look at hypnosis. Now these are not the only ways to look at hypnosis, but they are a good start. So the first one is what's called the dissociation model. Now, don't be scared of the terminology there. It's very, very simple. This is where we make a distinction between the conscious and the unconscious. So what we say is we have a conscious mind and we have an unconscious mind. And we do things consciously, but we also do things unconsciously. And our conscious mind is the part of us that likes to critique, that likes to analyze, that likes to figure things out. Whereas the unconscious mind is everything else. It's all the other potential choices that we're not aware of at this particular time. And also our unconscious mind is the part that responds to things without us really thinking. For example, if you were walking through the park and all of a sudden a fly flew into your eye, you wouldn't kind of consciously go, okay, now it's time to lift my right hand. Okay, engage the muscles in the right hand and the right arm, and then lift it up. Okay, how quickly, and then eventually kind of go like that. You would just go like that, without even thinking. This is an example of where you're engaging your unconscious mind, or when you're allowing your unconscious mind to respond. So we do things consciously, and we do things unconsciously. And the purpose behind the dissociation model is where we're looking to bypass the conscious mind, or to put it another way, to bypass the critical faculty, to loosen it, just so that we can start to tap into our unconscious resources. Because one of the fundamental underlying principles of the dissociation model is that inside each and every one of us, we have an infinite pool of resources. But this pool of resources often exists within the unconscious mind. So in this model, when you're using hypnosis in this way, it's about bypassing the conscious mind so that you can tap into the unconscious, so that you can then start to uncover and reconnect with some of these resources that of course you can then use in the context of change in some kind of way. So that's the dissociation model. Again, very, very brief overview, so it's a massive model. The second one, or the second way of thinking about hypnosis, is the creativity model. And this is where you basically just let go of the term hypnosis. Some people don't like the word hypnosis. It freaks them out because of all the crazy, weird misconceptions which we're going to be speaking about very soon. But this is where you drop that word hypnosis and then you say it's just all about creativity. In every single one of us, we have, all kinds of potential for creativity. So it's about letting go of the more analytical side of ourselves and then just allowing ourselves to drift into this creative place so that we can make some changes. Now, one of the fundamental principles within this model is that any problem or any challenge that you have is a problem because it's fixed and rigid. It's where you become locked into some way of thinking or some way of using your body, some way of being. So what you want to do with this model is you want to take that problem that's fixed and rigid and then throw it into a really wildly creative place. And in doing so, it then transforms into some other new choice. Hopefully the new choice is something that works better for you, something that's a lot more useful. So this is just a couple of ways to think about hypnosis, and I've gave you a definition there as well. Now bear in mind, like I say, this is a useful definition, but it is incomplete. The subject is so vast and it's changing all the time, and everyone will have their own interpretation of it. But this is certainly a good place to start. So just keep in mind these descriptions as you move forward through the next video.